Hey everyone, so I'm audible. Can you guys please acknowledge in the chat in the chat box? Hello, hello, hello. Am I audible for everyone? Okay. If I don't get response, how can I manage the? Oh, just give a sec. I'm really sorry. That's my bad. Okay. So am I audible for everyone? Now chat is unable. I think so. The setting has been changed and it got. Okay, okay, okay. Fine. So as yesterday session, how many people were there? I really don't know. Okay, okay. Maybe some people, as I can see in the group, there is a message. I'm trying but not connected. So means some people will able to join. Okay, and then we'll start. Maybe this is the time where people are working. It's a high time. It's a office time, working hours. So a lot of people are facing, I think so, this issue that they are not able to join info, you know, because of working hours. Anyways, we are recording the session, so we will share the recording. Today, I have planned to show you some of the important things what we did yesterday. We have spoken about some of the fundamentals and some of the you know the process happen in the box, right? So all these things are, very much important in your interview question. Believe me, if you have properly, went through the yesterday session, or if you were there, and if you have noted everything in the interview, you know, you can easily crack it, or you can easily answer whatever we did yesterday. Today we will look, about the transit and exception traffic. Three topics. Okay. Then Fahim Ahmed, after the Juniper have merged. No, you cannot expect the HP question in the Juniper question. They will be, always a separate things, because if they merge, they have to do a lot of changes. So they have acquired, HP have acquired the Juniper, but you cannot say that they will put any question in exam about the HP. No, it's just like, acquiring and putting the name and, showing the world that we are coming. It's like that. Yeah, but I can say the Juniper, if the Juniper was able to survive more, it can be, give a very hard time to the Cisco. It was very unexpected that HP have acquired the uh, Juniper. Okay, and after that, okay, how many people? Again, I will tell you before starting the session. The session is getting recorded, and believe me, even if it's getting recorded, I will not, you know, uh, stop myself to saying this that if I don't see your interest, your involvement, I will just complete my task. Okay, so before starting, I just want some, you know, idea how many people are working right now on the Juniper, and how much experience do you have? Okay, so Fahim, you're working for the Juniper. That's a great thing. What about others? Okay, maybe other are started working, North started working recently. Okay, great. Working on Juniper, but very less. Okay, okay, got it. Okay, so let's start with the technical part for this webinar session. This is the second webinar, and what we say today, we are going to take a look, on the basis of yesterday's session. Yesterday, we did some important topics. I have not taken into the deep dive, but I have showed you something that you able to understand what the things are going, right? Now, let's move to the. I just give a sec. Some people are trying to join now, and there is some, restriction. I have to allow them again and again, so it break my tempo. That is why just give me a minute. People are doing message on a group. Okay, fine. Now let's understand about the, traffic. Yesterday we have went through some important things like the box. In the box we have what we have. We have forwarding engine, and what was the another engine? Do anyone remember? Forwarding engine and what we call to the control plane engine. Do anyone remember? Control plane, yeah, but the engine name is routing engine. Yes, Adam. Adam, don't worry. After the session, we'll ask my team to share you the recording of yesterday session. And now I'm trying to search my document. I don't know where it went. Hold on. Okay, so it's here. Yeah, I got it. Fine. So yesterday we saw, in our box we have two types of engine. One is forwarding engine. First is routing engine and the forwarding engine. Our box is, yes, our box is, divided into two parts, right? as I have explained you. After that, in that two part, our box is divided into three process. Forwarding engine and routing engine are okay. I'm just I just want everyone not to message in the between of the what we say when I'm talking, because it will break my tempo and I'll lose the topic. Okay, so you can ask me question if you have any question. If you have any knowledge, you can share in the end of the chat, in the end of the session once I'm done, please. So okay, so our box is divided into two physical part. Okay, a routing engine and this is a forwarding engine. You can say this is like a card. Okay, forwarding engine is like a card. You can pull it and you can put the new one if you want. Okay, now in this forwarding engine and routing engine there are three processes. Which are the three process? Control plane, management plane, and data plane is going on. So the two process is a part of routing engine and one is a part of forwarding engine, right? In that process, we have some cells, call it daemon. Like I have explained yesterday, we have a brain. In that brain, we have some, virtual thing, conscious and subconscious. In that conscious and subconscious also, we have something called a brain cells, right? So daemon is like a brain cells, correct? All that together are, you know, all that together are responsible for your traffic process. Now we will understand about the traffic process. I have explained you yesterday that how the traffic process work from router 1 to router 3. If you was not there yesterday, yesterday's webinar recording will be there. You can go through it. Okay. So how the process work. Now with the same topology, I will, make it and I'll show you. So this is your router 1, this is your router 2, okay, and this is your router 3. You can call it, MX router, VMX router, whatever it is, MX router 104. Right now we are talking about this one, okay? So MX router 104. So this router 1 wants to reach router 3. So yesterday I have explained you the process that in the Juniper, the box works, very, in a robust mode always. Why? Because your engine itself have some power called a plane, data plane. And that data plane stores all the information inside its own cells, which is daemon. Okay, with the help of that power, your traffic works very smooth, or you can say very fast. Now, now let's understand what is transit traffic and exception traffic. So now this both traffic are also dependent on your engines, and your box rectify which traffic is this, and shall we make this process in the high end prior or just a forwarding prior. So if your router 1 wants to communicate with router 3, so when the packet goes to your router 2, your router 2 first will check this is transit traffic or exception traffic. Now, what is the criteria? What is the criteria to check it's a transit traffic or the exception traffic? So first, your packet will come to your router 2 to the which engine? To your forwarding engine. Now, your forwarding engine will send that packet to your control plane or routing engine. Your routing engine will check that this packet is for me or wants to go through me. Means this packet is for me or want to transit from me. So if the packet is for router 2, the control plane will start the process, whatever is needed. But if the packet is just want to pass through from 2 to router 3, which we call transit, means router 1 wants to reach router 3, so we call it transit. Okay, transit traffic. So what will happen? Your control plane will update your message to your forwarding engine that this packet is just for transit. So whenever this type of packet comes, don't share it to me. Directly forward the packet to the another router. So in this way, the process get small. The process get fast. So if now the router 1 wants to communicate with router 3, router 2 knows that if the communication want, I don't have to pass the data to my control plane, means router to control plane. I have authority, or you can say I have that power, I have that allowance that I can just directly forward that packet. So what is mean by transit? Transit means going packet through the available device. Understood? Now, exception. When it comes, uh, exception means, so if there is a packet, one router 1 wants to do some changes, in router 3 via, means here there is some one admin, he's trying to change something or he's trying to access from this device to this device. Okay, so what will happen? Router 1 will make a packet in such a way that router 2 engine, control engine, will understand this packet is for me. Okay, this packet is for me. Now, it can be for SSH telnet taking access of the device. It can be for for some routing purpose, for reachability purpose. So it is for me or want to go through me. So all that things happen in your device, and that understanding get happen between your engines and plane. Understood, everyone? I want answer from everyone, or maybe two, three people who are active. It's okay. I think the checkbox is working. Yeah. Okay. Great. So this is something, exception and transit traffics happen. And most of when you go in the most of the uh, environment, when the Juniper engineer speaks, they use a lot of jargons that you should know what they are saying. So they are not going to tell you this traffic need to go from one side to another side. No, they will not say like this. They will say, let's make a transit traffic. So you should know that now what is transit traffic. So now, Fen merely, if someone asks you now, let's make a transit traffic. So you know what is transit traffic. Yes, you will able to understand the jargons and you can answer them. Correct? Great. Now let's move to the another topic which I have selected for today webinar, and that is, let me check this. Okay, what are the process happen in the in the planes? Let's understand. So as you can see, the CPU resides in the plane and operating system as well. So CPU is a part of which plane? Control plane. Control plane handle routing protocol like OSPF, ISIS, etc. Runs in control plane. That means all the routing process happens in control plane. The protocol you turn the protocol you turn on to keep track of LSA, BGBPS, control plane does all that stuff. That means your OSPF, LSAs, BGBPS, everything happen in the control plane. Now it says when the packet comes to the router, it check the packets that the packet is for me or go through me. Just now I have explained to you. If it's for me, then then packet take the decision and forward the packet to the required plane. If the packet is for me, it will just forward the packet from the forwarding table. I'll come to that what is forwarding table and what is routing table. Okay, after this page. Now this thing happen in the control plane. Now in data plane, hardware call PFE, which is stands for packet forwarding engine. He is in charge of all plane. When the packet comes in, it classify the packet as this is for me or go through me. But still, the data plane have some dependency which comes from the control plane, because control plane itself updated that my things are this, so don't send me the things which I don't require. Understood? So these all are, and the management plane. Management plane is a subset of control plane. It's a cousin brother of, you can say, a control plane. It's use same hardware which control plane does, but it handles the inbound traffic. So the management plane, if you want some syslog, if you want to do HTTP, FTP, all that things that will happen in the management plane. Now I was about to explain you something, and I told you after this I'll do. And what was that? Hold on, I forgot. What was that? Uh, uh, Forwarding table and routing table. Yeah. So there is one more thing in a Juniper. Hold on, the recording is going on, right? Yeah. So there is one more thing in the Juniper. We call it, you know, uh, routing table. So routing table, everyone knows that. That's common for all the vendors. And the Cisco also the routing uh, table have. The Juniper also have. The Aruba also have. But in Juniper there is something called forwarding table, and that table is so easy, or you can say so fast, and that table is made by control plane only. Okay, the responsibility of control plane is very high, and the plane is only the one who manage the whole show, or you can say who manage who will do what. So the forwarding table is something, you know let me make something for you. My drawing is not that good, but I can make you understand with this such pet drawing also. So you can say this is your router 1, router 2, router 3, now router 4, and router 5. All routers are connected to one common router. So all routers are containing routing table and forwarding table. Okay. Now we will talk about his forwarding table, this router forwarding table. Okay. Now what will happen? FT forwarding table. What will happen? This router will first, okay, this router have some ports, right? So you can say this is port number 1, port number 2, port number 3, and port number 4. Correct? Now these four ports have different connectivity. Okay. Now if this now this router have reachability from here also to reach this router again. So what will happen if this router wants to reach router 3? So it have two path, path 1 and path 2, right? So this router forwarding table, what it does, it will say that you have two paths. One is from router 1 via router 1 means transit traffic. One is directly to the router 2. Okay, one is directly connectivity, one is through the 1. So the forwarding table, you know, will make some prefix or understanding in that your router and you will get a knowledge that I have two paths to reach router 2 means this green one, let me make it green. This green router, I have something, I have two paths to reach to this green router from one is via one is directly connected. Okay. So your router on itself and you will understand, okay, so my forwarding table have two inputs or two logs or two information about one reachability. This is one reachability, but two information. So where this information gets stored? In your forwarding table. Understood? So with this forwarding table, you understand where to reach, how to reach, and how many dependency I have to reach somewhere. Understood? Okay, I want to answer who are active. Nauf, Mir Ali, Fahim. Understood, right? Great. So this is something your routing table and forwarding table contains. Okay. Routing table is, very understanding name. It contains your route. Forwarding table is something where if you have multiple path to reach somewhere, okay, so all the information will be there in a routing table, sorry, in a forwarding table. But if you talk about the Cisco, if you check about this in the Cisco, uh, you have only one table, we call it routing table. In your routing table, only you will see the path that from here the traffic is coming, from here it's coming, from here it's going, and all that things. But in Juniper, we have two tables. One is routing table, another is a forwarding table. Okay, so that makes Juniper very much different. Okay, now let's move to the next topic. Daemon. Yesterday we did a daemon, but there is some process we call it a zombie process. Okay, it's a last topic for the day. Okay, and we will be done with it. So daemon as I have explained you, there is something, a process, a small process, a tiny process which is going inside, okay, in a plane called a daemon. Okay, in the daemon, there is something called zombie process. Now, what the document says, if you have one or more zombie process, those are a daemon. You definitely want to kill or restart it. Okay. Now this, hold on, just wipe. Let me wipe the drawing. Okay. If one or more zombie process could change, oh, sorry, something has been changed. Just hold on. So if one, you have more zombie process, those of daemon, you definitely want to kill or restart. Let me read. I'll explain you in short. Don't worry. It is a process got stuck when performing a task. It is not releasing the CPU and memory. So if you have zombie process, you definitely want to be able to identify those skills. Okay. So what happened now? If you are doing some configuration and all of a sudden, you got a mail from your team that there is some issue with routing in the device in which you are working. So all of a sudden you start checking your daemons. How you will understand which daemon have an issue and it's creating a bug in your router? Actually, there is something called zombie. So if your daemons start, misbehaving, it will become a zombie. Okay, so there is something called a zombie table or zombie process. Okay, we identify that with some sequence number. If so, just for an example, okay, so your daemon is working between, if your daemon number is between 1 to 99, that means your daemon is working very much fine and it's working very good. But if your daemon goes more than that number, it goes to 101, 102, 103, or maybe 110. So you will get understand now my daemon has converted or changed into the zombie. Now I have to restart that process. I have to restart or I have to kill that process. Understood? But in a technical language of the Juniper, we call it zombie process. Or you can say I am killing that daemon and I am, restarting my process. Understood? Now it says how to rectify the daemon is okay. When restart, the ID will be changed, right? I told you there is an ID. So when you restart that higher number daemon, okay, that daemon will, when the daemon number get higher, it will be a zombie. When you kill that zombie, it will get again into the daemon. And how you will understand that daemon is now normal? You will understand with the number of that daemon or with the process ID of that daemon. We call it process ID. Okay. Now the last, you know, a Juniper router also gives you, or you can say allow you, a common router also allow you to uh, what we say, gives you or allow you to make it GUI configuration. Okay, like in a Cisco, if you want to do any configuration, you have to do, CLI, only CLI. But some of the Juniper router, advanced Juniper router, gives you GUI also. We call it JWAB. Okay, the JWAB is a web-based graphical user. It give you GUI and you can manage the whole show with a GUI. Means you can do configuration in that JWAB. So you have to configure that JWAB where in your box, and then you can use it via GUI. Understood? So this was a session about, the important, and I have not went through some deep dive, just from the upper layer I have explained in this, but After the session, you understood there are so many things to learn in the Juniper, right? Now, Mirali and Tosif, Adam, who was responding, I'm just asking them only, and who are interested, they can also message. It's okay. Fine. So I'm done with my today's session.